Solving by factoring. So I want a number that's going to multiply to be negative 24 and add up to be negative 13. Actually, this time since there's a 2 here, right, 2 times negative 20, they want to add up to negative 48. All right, so let me get my trusty calculator. So I'm going to do y equals negative 48 divided by x to give me all the factors. And I want them to add up. So I'm going to do x plus alpha trace, enter. All right, then I want them to add up to second math, enter. I want them to add up to be negative 48, right? Or no, negative, what was my middle term? My middle term was negative 13. So you need to add up to negative 13. Right, they always add up to b, the middle guy. So now I'll go second graph and look at my choices here. Look at my numbers. I'm looking for the one that it makes it true. So I've got a positive 3. Right? 1 means true. So positive 3 and minus 16 is going to give me a negative 13. Positive 3 and negative 16 is going to give me a negative 13. So now I just factor out my common factors. So I've got here, I've got x, and here I've got a negative 8. And then in the columns, I've got a 2x, right? Because they're both even, they both have an x. And then I've got a factor of 3, and that would be positive 3 because this is positive right here. So those are my two factors. I've got 2x plus 3 times x minus 8 equals 0. All right, and then now since I'm solving, I want, right, since it's equals 0, I got to set each of these equal to 0. All right, so I'll go ahead and solve these. So minus 3, so 2x equals negative 3, divided by 2. So x equals negative 3 halves. That's one solution. And then here I'm just going to add 8, so that's easy. So x equals positive 8. All right, and then now for number 11, I've got a common factor, okay? Notice everything's even, right? All these numbers are even, so you know 2 goes into it. And then you could check for 4. Does 4 go into it? And yes, it does. Right, they're all divisible by 4. So I can divide out the 4. 4 is my GCF, right? That's my greatest common factor. And what's left is going to be x squared minus 7x plus 12. All right, and then now, well, there's no way, 4 cannot be 0. All right, so I don't have to worry about that as far as solving goes. I'm going to factor these guys. All right, so I've got x squared. I want numbers that add up, multiply to be 12, and they're going to add up to negative 7. So that would be negative 3 and negative 4, right? They add up to negative 7. And if I factor out my common factor, I get x equals x minus 4 and x minus 3. So I have the 4, and I got x minus 3 times x minus 4. And I want that to equal 0. All right. So I set each factor equal to 0. So that means what would make this 0? Well, x equals positive 3 would make that 0. And x equals positive 4 would make that 0. I'll just go ahead and put a little comma in between them. So those are my two solutions, positive 3 and positive 4. All right, my factors were negative 3 and negative 4. My zeros are positive 3, positive 4. I could always put that in the calculator, the original problem, and check to see if it crosses at positive 3 and positive 4.